I'm Cassie Esparza.
And I'm Marilyn Parra.
And we are here at the red carpet premiere of West
Side Story. So my first question is, how important was it for you to cast Latino actors?
Had to. There's no other. How could you do it? How could you do it in this day and age? There was no question. That was the first question that Steven and I, it was the first topic that Steven and I discussed. I was just like, how are we casting this movie? What's your vision and how do we want to cast this? And he said, all Latinx.
That's amazing, especially in 2021.
Especially in 2021 going into 2022.
Yes, very true. And who was the hardest to get a hold of this?
Bernardo. Okay, it's between Ariana DeBose and David Alvarez, but for different reasons. Ariana, who has my heart, was just like, I'm not right for her, Cindy. I'm not coming in. I tried to get her in 4 times before she actually acquiesced and came in. She's just like, I'm not this part. I'm like, you are. I know you are. Trust me. And then she came in, and she trusted me. I'm so glad that she did, because then she got the part. And David Alvarez had dropped out of the business, and so he wasn't acting anymore, and so he didn't have an agent. He didn't have all the direct channels that one always has. So we contacted him. We DM'd him, direct messaged him on Instagram. We didn't hear back from him for 2 weeks. It turns out that he was backpacking in Mexico, and he got back, he responded, and then he sent in his audition tape, and then he got the part.
Wow, so he was the first person in mind for this.
Would I say, I wish I could say that he was the first person in mind, but what happened was we had been searching for 6 months, just doing our process. We weren't really finding it. David Alvarez was one of the 3 Billy Elliots on Broadway in Billy Elliot, and he won a Tony Award at 14 years old, and he dropped out of the business. And so we had seen the other 2 boys at that time, and I was like, but there were 3. There were 3 Billy Elliots, and one of them was David Alvarez. Where is David Alvarez? And we couldn't find David Alvarez, and so we were on a frantic search to find David Alvarez, and then social media, thank you.
And then it just went from there. Well, thank you so much, Cindy. I'm so excited to watch the film tonight, and take care. Hi, David. Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm great. So my name is Marilyn. I just spoke with Cindy Tolan, and she told me it was a mission to track you down. So what was your reaction when you heard they wanted you to play Bernardo?
I mean, I was just blown away by the whole thing. I remember Steven Spielberg called me, and I was kind of caught off guard. It was an unknown number. It's like, well, who is this? And I recognized his voice, and I'm like, oh, Mr. Spielberg, how are you? What's the pleasure? And he's like, oh, please don't call me Mr. Spielberg. Call me Steven, because I'll be calling you Bernardo from now on. That's how I found out. And my jaw dropped. And at first I was intimidated, because it's such an iconic movie with iconic roles. And I just didn't know what to do with it. But Steven Spielberg had so much trust and belief, not only in me, but the entire cast, that we felt like we had a lot to bring to this table. And thanks to him, I think we all grew as artists and as people.
How was it working with Spielberg?
Yeah, I mean, it was the most beautiful experience I can ever imagine. He's such a father figure, and he's so passionate about what he's doing. He brings so much love and care to the projects that he works on, and that kind of trickles down to the rest of the crew and the cast, and everyone feels that energy. So everyone on set every day was so grateful, so happy to be there, bringing everything they could with so much love and passion, and that's rare. You don't find that very often.
And you are one of the only ones to sing a new song in this film. So how was it to be the only one to sing a new song on this classic film?
I mean, I remember shooting La Borinqueña, and when we shot that song, right around that week, there was protests going on in Puerto Rico with everything that there was so many problems going on, and it just fueled that fire in us when we were shooting that, because it's crazy that in 1957 Puerto Rico was having the same problems they're having today, so this is why this is such an important story with such an important message, and I'm just so grateful to bring this to live.
Well, thank you so much, David, and congratulations on this big opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Thank you. I appreciate
So
it.
you're a musical theater person, and obviously Steven Sondheim is such a legend. He just passed away. What does it mean to you to be part of the first project after his passing that honors him?
Yeah, well, certainly big shoes, right? I just want to say this guy, he was maybe one of the most authentic artists that I ever got to be in presence with. He was extremely honest. He was extremely caring about what we do and why we do it. And he always stuck to his guns. And he never compromised. And he really set a precedent, an example, I think, for all of us to try to do better. So it was a real honor it's an honor to be a part of this. But it was an honor to work with him when we did. And I don't know, I feel a great responsibility because of him and who he was, and a privilege to just be in his shadows a little.
That's really awesome that he got to be a part of this project. There are so many amazing musical numbers in West Side Story. What's one that you wish you were in that you weren't?
America, absolutely. Yeah, I can't wait for the audience to see it. It's a lot of fun.
And what does it feel like being here today, with the premiere of West Side Story?
Oh, no big deal. They only shut down all of Hollywood, and we're just here with a whole crowd. It's not a big deal.
Nice to meet you, Justin and Patricia.
Nice to meet you.
How are you guys feeling tonight?
Just so excited to be here. We just got in late last night, and we're happy to be celebrating this film and sharing it with the world now.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
It feels it's kind of overwhelming just to be on this kind of red carpet, something we've watched from afar so much, and just to be on this side, it's just, we're full of gratitude, really overwhelmed.
What was it like choreographing for such an iconic musical?
Exhilarating, daunting, challenging, frustrating,
Fulfilling.
all the feels. It's like the full range, the full spectrum of emotions, and it was the greatest adventure too. I mean, it's such an iconic musical. It's something that really moved the needle in terms of what a musical could be, and it's something that really inspired me as a young person. It's one of the major references that showed me that there was a life to find in dance, and so it's a huge kind of full circle honor to get the chance to work on it in this way. So.
Yeah, for me, especially during the casting process, I remember interviewing some of the members who had gotten it, and the thought that from Steven all the way down to our youngest Shark, this movie had made a difference in their life. That this story, this show had made such an impact on their life, to feel like we all had an opportunity to bring our own selves to it. It's overwhelming. It'll be an entire new generation that processes this now, and how we'll feel to hear some people say, "Oh, that's what inspired me to take on a life devoted to dance or to film or just to live your life with that inspiration inside of you." So, yeah.
And a bit of a fun question. So you guys spent your time behind the scenes, but if you had to be in one of the musical numbers, what would it be?
Such a good question.
I bet they're all great, but if there had to be one.
I would want to be in Officer Krupke. It's like a unexpected number in the film, I think, and it's super fun, and it's all about blocking, not so much about impressive dancing. But what about you?
I mean, there were times throughout the rehearsal process where I'd have to kind of step in if we were working out things, and I think obviously the most natural one is the scene of Dance at the Gym underneath the bleachers. I would love to live that, but I think I'd have to say it would be cool to fight over that gun and to jump over those platforms, and just the intensity that that at the point in the movie where that happens, I would love to feel what that feels like.
So how does it feel to be on the red carpet tonight for the new reimagining of West Side Story?
It is a constant state of gratitude, and it's dreamlike, and yet the last, 6 years trying to get this film made, and the fact that here we are, that not only is it made, but it is being seen with the intent in which it was made, which is, love has to win, and it's a tale as old as time when communities out of just ignorance hate, because it's a human thing to do. It's part of our broken DNA, and art, musicals teach us it's not a real form. You don't sing, but when you sing in a show, it raises the stakes of emotion, and that's the magic about musicals. I hope it provides butterfly wings for change, because I did Rent, I did Avenue Q, I did In the Heights. Those musicals also help push our culture forward, and even though this is a musical that's been around 60 years, the way Steven and Justin and Tony and Janos, the way he shot it, I think we've created a film that you take out of the theater with you.
That is amazing. Well, dreams do come true in LA. Well, have a great night, Kevin. It was
Thank
so
you.
nice meeting
Thank
you.
And as we all say, fight on.
Fight on!